Hey there everyone, how are you all doing today? I am the Perpetual Noob. Welcome to another episode of my playthrough of Dragon's Dogma. In our last episode, we finally conquered the terrible Griffin in Blue Moon Tower, and now it's time to see what cool stuff we're gonna get for turning in that quest, besides the, lackluster Griffic armor. So, I'm pretty excited to show you where the story goes now. This episode actually is going to be a pretty fun one with probably one of my favorite cutscenes yet. So here we head back off to Aldous, go turn in this quest. Of course, along the way, I happen to get a little distracted by Fornival Manor. Fornival's a kind of a shady character in this game, and so I have no problem with raiding his place. And oddly enough, the game doesn't have a problem with you raiding somebody's place either. I mean, I'm able to just walk right into this place and start stealing things, and I could be stealing things in front of other people, without them, or with them completely, witnessing it. And for some reason the game doesn't care. The game doesn't arrest you or anything. But the moment you push somebody or you hit somebody with your weapon, you're instantly arrested. It's a little different from games like Oblivion and Skyrim, where where the guards are telepathic and they know even if you're behind a closed door and there's nobody in the room or the house, they know that you've stolen something. Or at least I think that's how it was in Oblivion. And then Skyrim was a little bit different. So anyways, on to Aldous. Hey, what's up, farmer dude?
I get to thinking times like these.
Yeah. Cool thing, farmer dude. You keep on going about your business. We've got important things to do. We must deal with the Chamberlain. What's up, bonnet lady?
Are you a warrior come to...
Okay, I am. I am indeed a warrior come to help the world, and so on and so forth, and all the other typical RPG hero type things. And look, more people, more NPCs who get no attention. What's up, baking lady?
I don't know aught of dragons and such. I just do as I'm told.
Fair enough. Actually, now that I think about it, I only do as I'm told right now. The game tells me to go do things, I do them.
Arisen, I ask you in my stead, pray, see them back alive.
Oh,
They are
right.
Competent warriors to a man.
She's just telling us all about, she's still using the same dialogue because we haven't finished
But I would rest
the Blue
easier
Moon
here
Griffin
knowing
quest.
They march with the slayer of the Hydra. Please, sir.
Sure thing, Mercedes. Sure thing. Let's go find Aldous. Oh, there he is. What's up, old man?
Welcome back, sir. Then the Griffin is defeated.
Yes, it is. But first, I'm going to give you a gift. Because I found it in Fornival's Manor. And I know you like
have
them.
My utmost gratitude.
I don't know what that means at this point. But we'll get into the gift system in a moment.
Welcome back, sir. Then the Griffin is defeated. Blessed
Rather you guys hear some of the
all who walk Grancis roads will rest easier for it.
some of his
It is
dialogue.
welcome news too for trade. You and the others who fought have my thanks, Arisen.
Level up. Woo!
Many within the castle praise your bold deeds of late. I pray such
Well, they
good
are pretty
works
bold.
continue apace.
And they are pretty
I have
praiseworthy.
more tasks that require your attention. Pray, make your choice, sir. I'd a task I wished entrusted to you, sir. But Sir Mercedes insisted it be hers instead. She was most adamant. Though she is a knight come in good faith to aid us, she remains daughter to Hearthstone's lord. It
So?
does my heart no ease to see her undertake such a dangerous errand.
But she's a knight.
Alas, in the face of her ardent petition, there was naught I could do but accede. Can I ask that you at least accompany her, sir? She must be kept safe. My thanks, Arisen.
Well,
Pray go and
obviously.
speak to Sir Mercedes.
Obviously I'll go because it's, you know, a story quest and I kind of have to progress the story. But not because I don't think Mercedes can handle
Many within
herself.
the castle praise your bull. I've more tasks that require your attention. It grieves me to report an item was stolen from the castle's stores a few days past.
Jinkies?
It was a possession of the Duke's and a treasure of the realm, the Wyrmking's ring. The band was stolen under heavy watch. I fear it to be the work of someone within the castle. But first, the ring must be reclaimed. Will you do it, sir?
Well, of
You would
course I'll
well
do
to
that.
begin by asking the men and women of the castle what they know. That ring is a treasure to all Grancis, and a symbol of the Duke's authority. It must be found.
Hey gang, it sounds like we've got a mystery on our hands. Let's start asking around. But first, let's look at our quest list. No, the oh my gosh, I said it wrong too. The Wyrmking's ring quest is actually a pretty fun quest. We'll complete it in we'll complete this quest in a later episode, but it's got one of the best death scenes. You know what? No, it doesn't. I'm lying, but that's okay. You'll see what I'm talking about when we get to it. But now instead, we'll end up helping Sir Mercedes and completing her quest first. But while we're still in the castle, we're gonna go investigate. We'll speak with anybody we can find about this ring. So first, we're gonna split up. Shaggy, Scoob, you're gonna go into the kitchen. I'm obviously gonna go with Daphne, and Velma, you get to go with whoever our guest star is today. You know, honestly, I never got that. It just, you know, oh.
Good Aldous told me there's been sign of thieving within the castle.
There has.
Even
What do you
from
know?
escape sight, the castle's construction hinders all who do not know it well. Our
So it
villain
was an
had a
inside
guide,
job.
or had some occasion to grow familiar with the castle.
Already beginning to look suspicious that it was the very Duke himself who did this. And while I'm down here, I realize that the red circle didn't mean that the person for this quest was below us, but above us. I still want to see if that ceramic jug was actually cloud wine. But again, never understood that aspect to Scooby-Doo. They always tried to, I don't know, I feel like they always try to present Velma as, especially in the original show, not obviously the later stuff. But the original, they were always like, oh, Velma is the geeky, you know, nerdy one, and nobody likes to be around her. But Daphne, she's the hot one, so she and Fred always go off by themselves. You, with the red exclamation point above your head. After I'm done looting this place, I'm gonna ask you some questions. That's right, I'm both the good cop and the bad cop. What do you know?
I heard a report of an unfamiliar man seen within the castle's halls. They say he had the look of that sorcerer.
A sorcerer? So the Duke was dressed up like a sorcerer so that people wouldn't suspect the Duke of taking his own ring. It's the perfect insurance scam. Oh wait. That seems to be a bit too too politically intriguing. Somebody else now, besides Aldous. You! What do you know?
If there's talk of a sorcerer, it'll be Solomon, no doubt. I'd hoped we were rid of that rat for good. I do not relish the thought of his return. But the pilfered ring does bear a strong magical affinity. It is the sort of bauble Solomon would covet.
Salomet? Huh, nice read.
I'd hope, but the...
That's one thing that's kind of strange about this game.
Salamet. 'Tis a name that calls up bitter memories. Time was the Duke held a council of magic scholars here in Gran Soren, tasked with ensorceling grimoires and trinkets.
He ensorceling.
Salamet sat at the head of the council. His genius was unmatched, save by his ambitions. Once their research bore fruit, Salamet betrayed his grace and fled with the findings. He disappeared, leaving the corpses of his fellow scholars in his wake. I know not by what design he would reveal himself now. Perhaps aught about this ring that compels him.
Well, alright. So now we know who the real culprit is. Oh, and the whole ensorceling thing. I just kind of was giggling because it just... Ensorceling, come on, that just sounds funny. Good word, but sounds funny. So, this is a slight screw-up that I decided to just run with. I meant to go to the quest page, but apparently my thumb said, no, you're going to look at your history. So I decided to check it out. I think really it's the first time I ever looked at this page. And I just said, you know what, fine. I'll go through all of the pawns I've used over time, which was kind of cool that they kept all of that and that they keep all of that information. So it's also fun to just see who I was using and at what level and whatnot. And obviously I had to take a pawn named Tarkus. The guy can take down the Iron Golem himself. So, of course I'd use him. I wish the pawns would level up with you, so I could have used him through the entire game, keeping up with that little pattern of about an hour a level, which is pretty good. So it's kind of nifty to see the game keeps track of so much stuff. Oh yeah, and I was going to mention stuff about the gifts, and this is, I guess, the page that kind of shows you how your gifts work. And honestly, I have no idea who that particular female with max affinity is. I think it might be Sir Mercedes, only because I've given her, I think, 2 or 3 cloud wines, like early on in the game, because I was able to read the cloud wine description and say, oh, I know who that person is. And then I would see her and be like, hey, here's some cloud wine. I really don't know what the gift system does for me in this game, but it says you like it. I'm not really using it. Here, why don't you take it? So, I don't know. It actually, having the maximum affinity may even affect the cutscene we're going to see later for Sir Mercedes' quest. But I really have no idea how the affinity system works. It's probably one of those, things I would need to hit the internet for, research at the wiki, that sort of thing. And as I've stated before, that's not what I'm doing for this, which is why I am calling it a pretty noobish playthrough of Dragon's Dogma. Now, you may have noticed that my voice probably sounds a little different. Unfortunately, my initial recording kind of froze up, so I was able to save the audio and the video and whatnot, but only up to a certain point, because things just kind of got screwed up. So anyways, that's why I sound a little bit different. But I think my max affinity is only with Sir Mercedes. I've given gifts to some other people. As you saw, I gave a gift to Aldous. But, yeah, I don't really know what's going to happen with all that. So, in any case, let's move on. Which, that took me, you know, we just spent a few minutes in the history tab because it was kind of, it was a bit like, you know, you kind of get lost. There's all this information and you just kind of get lost, like a Wikipedia or a Google search. What's up, Sir Mercedes?
I take it you've heard. Then you'll know that this task is mine. I'll not be an idle burden on the Duke's hospitality any longer. And surely you've won enough glory, sir. Allow me this one chance to prove myself.
Yeah, oh, well, okay. I still don't know what you're gonna do,
My thanks.
but go for it.
This matter concerns Lord Julian as well. There is talk of dark happenings at the Stone of the North. Lord Julian's watch. He set out for the hold himself some time ago, but there has been no word since. Someone must go and see what has become of him. As a fellow guest of the Duke's, I felt it my duty. I would forbid you from interceding, but you no doubt have your own reasons for going. I will not stop you from joining me, but neither can I wait. Follow if you wish, sir. I am off.
Okay. Yeah, let's go do this. Let's go to the Stone of the North, and let's go kick Lord Julian's smarmy face right in. Seriously, that guy's pretty shady. Earlier on in the game, he had some shady dealings, and it makes me... Ooh, what's that? Oh, it's a question mark, but it's a yellow one. What do you know?
A sorcerer, eh? Can't say as I've heard tell of. No, wait. There is rumor going around of a queerly dressed man skulking about the quarry. More than his dress is odd if he's hanging around that place with no reason.
It looks like we're gonna have to go investigate Salamet by the old abandoned quarry. Well, since it's a murder mystery, or just a mystery in general, you know, it's obviously got to be an old and abandoned quarry. It can't just be a quarry. Now, where's the quickest way out of Grand Soren so we can continue on with the Stone of the North quest? Or, as the game is calling it, Pride Before the Fall. Because again, that was my intention. I wanted... I'll deal with Salamet later. Whatever, I'll get that ring. You know, that'll actually... that will actually be dealt with later. And I did contemplate jumping right there. But then remembered that even though I am in the city and it's essentially a safe place and you don't run out of stamina, you do still take fall damage. And I realized that probably wouldn't be the smartest thing to jump from there, because I think it's high enough. Well, it probably wouldn't have killed me, but it still would have hurt. So I didn't jump from there. Now I'm just taking a quick look at my item burden and realizing that I'm carrying a shit ton of stuff, and I probably shouldn't be, especially those ambrosial meats, because they're heavy. I mean, you look at that, they're like a pound a piece, and that's a problem. But I do get to make some more balmy perfumes, and you can never go wrong with those. You can never have enough. And now it's time to go see what Sir Mercedes is up to. Time to rush off to the north. Well, I know I gotta go to the north. As I'm playing this, I keep checking my map, because despite playing as much as I have at this point, I still don't know where I still don't know where everything is, which is pretty sad to say.
Even the capital is not without its dangers. Lest we remain cautious.
Oh, hearing all that music, that reminded me. As you've noticed, it can get kind of loud, and it can actually get kind of loud even over whatever I'm saying as a commentator, and just the game's dialogue and sound effects as well.
The roads are safer than the brush.
And funny enough, or I guess upsetting enough, I'm sure you've been hearing about the content ID blitz, you could call it, happening on YouTube right now, where even my previous episode did get hit with a content ID match, and it's actually for some of the music playing during the Griffin fight, which was the boss battle music. But when you watch that video, the music's just nearly overpowering, or I should say at least overwhelming, so you almost lose my commentary in addition to just any of the sound effects from the game, and that got matched up, and so it's like, well, geez, what do you do? I mean, I wasn't going to stop that. But so, you're probably going to hear, in addition to my voice being a little bit different, you're probably going to hear a bit of an audio balance change to try and avoid that from now on. So, switching gears.
We're headed for Grand Sorin with a trophy for His Grace. We came upon it in the Western Road. Truth be told, the beast was dead ere we came upon it. 'Tis less of a trophy than a windfall. Still, a creature in such pristine condition makes a fine offering. The Duke will reward us well.
And you don't think this is suspicious, Sir Rustum? Because I can assure you that when I walked upon this, my first thought was, well, that's going to become a problem later. Especially with the explanation right there. It looks near alive. Essentially, any more foreshadowing that would have said it's going to come to life later and kill everyone.
Say you were risen. Quite the prize, eh? 'Twas I what found it.
Oh, congratulations, Sir Tullius. You've now doomed everyone to death. I suppose that's a little redundant, but whatever. But I did like that the game has this, where they put this right out there, right on display, and they say, ha ha ha, you know this is coming, and there's nothing you can do about it. But don't worry, we get to it in a few episodes from now. We'll actually get to see what that not dead corpse is all about.
Look over there. Is that
Now it's just time to hustle our way back to up north. Let's get moving with this Mercedes quest. It is kind of funny because with me being such a high level and with such strong gear, I was, my pawns were all like, goblins, oh no, and our AI's kicking in, so we must attack it. And initially I just said, oh, we'll just walk past, and screw it, let's just leave them. They're not worth our time. But then I remembered that, the reason why I am level 45 after only 44.5 hours is because I kill everything I encounter on the road. And so, alright, fine, I guess I'll come back and start killing things. But being, I'll say, as strong as my party is at this point, it's a little, I don't know, it's a little boring, because that fight, any wolf fights we encounter, any hobgoblin fights, now there's essentially kind of boring. There's almost no thrill. Heck, even fighting Cyclops is... whatever, the plural of Cyclops. Even fighting them isn't all that exciting anymore. The Griffin fight, that was exciting. Kind of. But, Chimera fights, those are still pretty exciting. But I don't know. It is. There's a bit of that weird, I'll say. I want to say dichotomy, but I don't think it's the appropriate word. But there's that weird balance where when you're playing an RPG, you want to become the most powerful thing ever. And by the way, that was a brilliant indomitable charge on my part, getting only one hit with it. absolutely brilliant use of my time. But there's a balance you want to have. I kicked the camera to look to the sky. I was really hoping to send that wolf flying. It's one of my favorite reasons to use that move, that mighty swing, because it's hilarious to kick something into the air and watch it go flying away. But there's this strange balance that you want to kind of get, where you want to be, I don't know, you want to be really powerful and be able to walk, you know, through enemies and stuff. But after a while, it kind of gets boring, and you almost want the game to catch up. Or at least I'm kind of experiencing that with Dragon's Dogma. I don't know, there may be some other games where that's not really what you want. But, ooh, here we go.
No time for chat. I have orders to await my next orders.
You know, if you look up the word redundant in the dictionary...
Captain Mercedes is already headed to the stone.
Well, okay. To the stone we go. I wonder what's going on. I'm sure there's nothing wrong. Everything is totally hunky. Whoa, holy crap. Who are you guys? It's a giant melee in here. Fantastic. My favorite. But, yeah. They're actually deflecting my shots. Which I attempt a couple more times before I start to piece together what's going on. As I note that they're still not, these guys that I can't damage or kill are still not attacking me. And they are clearly not dying. And it's only at that point that my brain finally said, wait a second. Oh, this is just a set piece. Okay. We clearly have to keep going. We have to go somewhere else now. Fine. So that's where I rush off to. And we're gonna very shortly get to a cutscene. And I'm actually gonna let the cutscene play out in its entirety, with me being a little silent.
Viper! You colluded with Salvation to work sedition among the Duke's men!
Salvation? You place me in ill company. I'm a man of this world. Fantasies of death and redemption concern me not one whit. Now, legends. Legends stoke up the masses. If Duke Edmund were to best a second dragon, Francis would take the ascendant. But her neighbors ill want the giant looming at their borders, am I wrong?
Damn me, your sophistry! The word neighbor sours on your forky tongue.
You know, I'm actually going to cut in here. You know, I'll be a little bit quieter. But hopefully you'll still be able to enjoy the cutscene. But I must say, you know, first, embrace the accents. Just let them happen. But two, I was really impressed. I did actually have to look up the word sophistry, which, for those of you who don't know, such as myself, sophistry actually means essentially like an argument that seems plausible, but if you look at it closely, you find out that it's completely false. So, despite, you know, a lot of my annoyance with the antiquated technology and the dialogue, the overuse of the words ought and not, this cutscene and several others with their dialogue were really impressive.
I had thought they trusted you about
and now
the
really,
base treasons of Salvation's
this is how the quest works. Now it just says watch. Which, I figured I'd do. I didn't really want to interrupt anything. But I did actually have to go to my quest list and confirm that all we're supposed to do now is watch. And that's it. And hopefully, you know, if you're not able to hear what they're saying, you're able to still at least read it at the bottom, because this duel actually has a fair amount, actually, even in the cutscene before. And one thing I really like about this quest is that there's just a ton There's a ton of,
cost is served by sending men to die for his pleasure.
I guess, lore. There's a ton of lore within all of this.
Is the greatest mercy to our neighbors.
You know,
And what of those of this land who will die
as these two fight and argue with each other about the world of Grancis, and then the world, or I should say the kingdom of Grancis, and then the kingdom of Hearthstone, and how the world works and how the politics of this world operate.
Think of the morrow.
One thing that was a little strange is that Lord Julian is just beating the crap out of Sir Mercedes, but yet she never dies. Kind of impressive.
What is gained by all of this? Not, I say, and not to say your Lord Father.
How dare you say?
And Sir Julian, or Lord Julian, is now stuck in an infinite loop.
You know it to be true. Has he sent his finest blade? A general fit to lead them?
Look at that, no stagger.
No, he sent an ornament, so she be too daft.
So say what you want about Sir Mercedes, but she sure can withstand a beating.
Bastard!
Do it.
Your head is a meager trophy. The men of the fort may have use of you yet. Even a she-goat's skin can warm a desperate man of nights.
What? Is no slander beneath you?
Yeah. I really can't wait.
Duel is well and settled.
Cannot wait
Be gone from my sight at once.
till I get the chance to crush that guy. Holy crap.
I've no more patience to
Capcom did such a good job of making this character, this Lord Julian, deplorable and a terrible human being, and a very easy target of the player's hatred. Honestly, makes me so mad.
Do you think me cruel, Arisen?
Yes, very cruel, you sick bastard.
Is a rare luxury in war. You are pledged to slay the worm, and that alone. No oath binds you to the Duke, nor would my death do you any great service.
But I'd feel much better if you were dead.
Those might call me a monster, but I am no dragon, sir. What say you?
No, yeah, you're still a monster. The fact that you're not the dragon doesn't make you any less of a monster. You did just threaten a woman with gang rape. That's screwy.
I knew. I am a meager choice to send as aid. I know it well. Still, I could not.
And there you have it. One of my favorite quests so far. And then you're kind of just thrown right out of it, where it's back to business as usual, which was a little bit of a jolt. I won't lie, because that quest was, with the cutscene and that fight and the argument and just the dialogue involved, was kind of an intense quest, or at least an intense end to a quest. And then all of a sudden the game's just like, ding! Quest has been updated.
I must make a pitiable sight. I knew. I am still.
And that's it. Now it doesn't like, wait, let's try to go after him.
Here I put on a shameful display. Lord Julian had the truth of it, every word. I am weak. I serve no purpose here, save as hollow homage to an empty pact. Aids in name only. Hearthstone or Grancis, there's not a man in either who expected anything else of me.
I did.
I knew it well enough, tasted it on every breath I drew. Yet still, I fancied myself a knight. Arisen, I will return to Hearthstone. Not to lick my wounds, but to petition my Lord Father that grants his people receive true aid. I will not send you to meet the dragon with their fates weighing upon you. After, I shall return here to aid you however I may. I am a fool. Pray, accept this token. I haven't much to give. It will please me to know that provided you some small comfort on my journey.
Hooray for the trading of invisible things. But yeah, then I see real quick that I've been given a silver rapier, and despite how much I like the character Sir Mercedes, I have no use for a silver rapier. It's not what I use, and I probably will never end up using it. So I do feel a little bad about that. Probably not the coolest thing of me to say, oh, thank you for this lovely gift.
I cannot hope to grow strong overnight. Until then, pray be well.
But I do find it, I was kind of upset that the game did the usual, the trope of the villain just getting away, just walking away, and the player character can't chase him, can't catch him, just gets to watch him go away. And especially when the player is revved up and ready to start fighting and really wants to be able to fight. It was very upsetting that Lord Julian just disappears. He just takes a walk and the game's like, nope, you're not chasing him. We're doing this cutscene instead. And that's kind of what I was talking about with the gift affinity stuff earlier. I still don't know what to do with these nests. You saw that flashing nest? I have no idea. I have no idea what's up with that. But moving on back to the gift affinity, do you just get, does Sir Mercedes give you her rapier anyways? Like, is that just something you'll get whether you have affinity with her or not? Or is that something that happens only because you have max affinity? Like, I gotta imagine most of that cutscene probably happens, just because the Capcom didn't want you to be able to chase Lord Julian. Obviously he is one of the big bad guys, so you're gonna have to wait for a while to go after him, or to finally kill him, anyways. Which I did laugh at during that cutscene when he, when Julian says, I look forward to a challenge, when he's, talking to the Arisen. I'm thinking, yeah, dude, I don't think you're going to be much of a challenge to me, even if I had to face you one-on-one. Do you know how overpowered I am right now? For new game. Obviously, New Game Plus will be a different thing, but we're not there yet. Clearly, we're not there yet. So, again, yeah, I don't know if that extra dialogue happened. If you get the gift, if you haven't interacted with Sir Mercedes and gotten max affinity with her or anything. But really cool cutscenes, really cool dialogue there. I really like that one a lot. Oh, right.
To the truth, Arisen.
There was a battle down here. I should probably check up on you guys.
You are blind to the truth, Arisen.
And probably the first time I've seen the text and dialogue not match. But, that's what I get. That's what I get for being considerate and concerned for their welfare. Yes, go over to them, ask them how they're doing, and they just tell me I'm blind. And then I can't kill them. I can't kill them, which makes me sad. These ungrateful bastards.
You are blind.
Even the dragon's coming is not enough to unite men's hearts as one.
Alright. What do you have to say, sir?
'Twas shock enough to hear salvation had a hand in the Northern Revolt.
It is true.
'Tis a painful thing to hear it was Lord Julian what led them, though.
Nah.
It's been a promise of old that the neighboring lands should band together in times of danger. But I suppose such times are as given to politics and intrigue as any other.
Yeah, I suppose you're right. which is all the more reason why I want to punch Julian in the face. But we cannot think of that now. We must press on, continue forward with the story, and we shall now move towards the quarry to begin or continue the Wyrmking's ring quest. I'll remember to say Wyrm. I swear, this will be a thing. But now it's time to move forward. Now I noticed that Molly had some sort of dialogue for the Wyrmking Rings quest, but since we already knew that we had to go to the quarry, it was kind of pointless to ask her, because she would probably just say, oh, let's go to the quarry. And, oh look, deer! Lots of them. And they're not the brightest. Stopping in front of me, only taking a couple leaps away before they stop again. Thank goodness, because otherwise I'd have a hell of a time killing these things. And you may be kind of wondering, why? Why are you killing these things? These cute little creatures that are doing nothing to you? Well, one, it's true, they are doing nothing to me. But two, I had a quest. Much like with the oxen, I have a quest that says, kill so many deer. And so I've decided, okay, especially now that I'm looking at over a dozen of them. I don't remember how many I'm supposed to kill, but I do know how many. But I do, stop once I get them. But I do know it's still a quest, and actually it was kind of good that I did it. Because look at that. Now my pawn is level 45, so now she's all tied up with me. And there we have it. So now it's time to move on to the quarry, and to continue on, with the Wyrmking Rings quest. Of course, after finding some more loot and grabbing some more gold, which at this point, it looks like 560,000 gold is a good thing. No, I could definitely go through that pretty quick if I started buying equipment for myself again, or paying for upgrades. It's definitely the upgrades that can get to you. So again, we're now just and we're walking. I was trying to find some skulls again, and no luck in either. And honestly, I don't know why I keep the rusted equipment. They sell for like 200 gold a piece. Seems kind of pointless to keep them, but apparently I still, but I look at it and say, hey, all gold is good gold. Especially because I could, like I said, easily go through 500,000 gold for equipment and upgrades and stuff. So now it's just time to try to lessen my burden. I don't remember if I actually get down to average here. Probably not. I'm carrying so many curatives. I don't know why, but I am. So we're actually going to wrap up here. And it's next episode that we will continue the Wyrmking Rings quest. Thank you everyone for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you all next time.